Hello, I'm Joy Cole, and today I'll be taking you through the York County Public Library's OPAC, which stands for Online Public Access Catalog. I would just like to mention that from here on out, I'll be referring to the York County Library System as YCL. So one way to access the OPAC, if I'm not inside the library, is to visit the library's website, which is yclibrary.org. From the home screen, if I hover my mouse over Browse here at the top and click Library Catalog, it will bring me to the home page of the OPAC. Upon first glance, everything seems very simple and clean. Everything is right in front of me towards the top of the page, so I don't need to do any additional clicking or scrolling to find where to search. It appears to be rather user-friendly thanks to the clearly labeled search fields. We have the search box, which is where we type in what we're looking for. Then we have the type of search we want, which has a drop-down menu and gives options like keyword, author, and subject. Next is the format that we're looking for, which is also a drop-down and provides options like books, DVD, and large print. And then the last field is library, which allows us to choose the library that we'd like to do our search within. If you're unaware, YCL is part of a consortium with 20 other South Carolina counties that have agreed to exchange materials with each other. This allows all the libraries in those counties additional access to materials without having to purchase them. The library field allows the user to search all counties within the consortium, which is called SC Lens, or choose a particular library system to search, such as York County Library System. It even allows the user a particular branch to choose, like the Lake Wylie branch, which is part of the York County Library System. This allows patrons to see if their particular branch has the materials they're looking for and gives them the ability to search beyond just a single branch. So I'm going to do a search to evaluate the ease of use of this OPAC and also to examine what kind of results I get. I'm going to start with a simple search for a particular book title. I'm going to use Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So I'm going to type in Harry Potter into the search box. So as you can see, when I started typing Harry Potter, suggestions popped up underneath it to help me narrow down my search. I can search Harry Potter as a title, as a subject, or I can do it based on the book numbers. This is convenient for patrons who are looking for a particular book in a series or looking for a book based on a title. It appears that this particular OPAC tries to aid its patrons, making it easier to locate material. So I'm going to click on the first suggestion, which is series title. So let's see what kind of results we get. All right, so there are 39 results that I got. Each item is numbered so you can tell the difference between the records. Most of them have pictures, and there's always a title. So it also looks like there's a mix of formats in these results, which means that I'm seeing more than just books with Harry Potter in the title. So for number 14 here, it's showing me a movie. So if I want to limit my search to just books, I would have to change my criteria at the top. So I'm going to go up to the drop down next to Format and choose All Books, and then I'm going to click Search again and see what that comes up with. All right, so it did another search, so I'm going to go back to that second page to make sure that I am actually only seeing books. So going back to number 14, and where the DVD used to be, it's now showing me a book. So going back and taking a closer look at the result records, I can see that it gives me not just a picture and a title, but I can also see the format and then the call number so I know where it's located within the library. It also shows me how many copies there are within SC Lens. So I'm going to go up and change my library at the top to show me what's available in my local branch, which is Lake Wylie. I'm going to hit search again and then see what happens. Okay, so now I get 13 search results for Harry Potter books that can be found at the Lake Wylie branch. But now I want to look for a certain book within the series. So I'm going to look for the second book, which is Chamber of Secrets, and I'm going to look for it two different ways. So the first way is by writing the title in the search box. Okay, I'm going to hit search. So now it's not showing up, and it's not telling me why it's not showing up, which is a little confusing. Harry Potter is a very popular series, and we just saw that there were 13 items at the Lake Wylie Library. So that would lead me to believe that this particular library doesn't own a copy of Chamber of Secrets. Now I know this is false because if we go back, I can see right here that it's actually number 2 on the search results. So this part of the OPAC is a little confusing and unclear for patrons that aren't familiar with the library system like I am. I know that the reason we're not getting any results was because we changed our search parameters to specify a title and forgot to change the type. So the OPAC was looking for search results of any items in the Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets series instead of just the Harry Potter series. So if we change the type to title, and then we re-enter the title here, and then click search, let's see what we get. Okay, so now we get 5 results, and notice now how the words in each of the titles are highlighted green. So that's because we did a specific search, and the OPAC is showing us why these items were selected because they correspond to the keywords that I typed in. So if we look at the first record, we can see that it's a book, and it was published in 2018. So there's a call number, so we know where to find it in the library. And then it breaks down how many copies are available, first by the branch that I chose, then the library system, and then all of SC Lens. So the other way to do the search, which some patrons might do if they don't remember the specific title of the book, is to just put in the order in the series. So I'm going to put in number 2. So now when I did that, the suggestion list popped up again with 2 choices. So the first one looks like it's the one that I want. And the second one popped up because it has the words Harry Potter and the number 2 in it. You can see those in red, but it's not the correct item that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the first suggestion to see what happens. All right, so now this one gives me 3 results, which is actually 2 less than the other way that we just looked for it. And it doesn't highlight the titles based on the keyword matches like the other one did either. So this is a downside to searching in the OPAC. For the most part, it is user-friendly, but it appears to be pretty particular about the way that you search for material. If I was a patron unfamiliar with the library system and OPAC, and I did this search for Harry Potter Book 2 for real, I would be unaware that it's actually giving me 2 less results than the other way that I could have searched for it. I think that the ease of use is good because it allows you control over your search criteria, but unfortunately the way it conducts its searches doesn't make sense and may confuse and frustrate some patrons. So I'm going to perform another more general search to see if I get a similar conclusion, or to see if these results are based on specific searches. So I'm going to click on the button that says another search, which clearly indicates that I want to do a different or new search. So that brought me back to the main page of the OPAC. So this time I'm going to search more broadly for a book about bears. So I'm going to fill in my search criteria here at the top. I'm going to type in bears into the search field. Then for type, I'm just going to keep it as keyword. Then next is format. I want all books. And then last, library. So I want this to search all the libraries in York County. So I'm just going to click on York County Library System. And then I'm going to click search and see what I get. Okay, so I get 1,944 results. So that is an overwhelming amount of books. So I'm not going to, I'm going to try to narrow it down by looking at the tabs on the left to see if I can narrow it down using any of these links over here, because that caught my attention right away. So I want to learn more about polar bears in particular. So let's see, there is topic. So there's different bears that I could click more to see what else they have. And then there's genre, series title, name, geographic. So I want polar bears, and I want for kids like nonfiction information. So these, I'm sure I could probably play around with them and click on them, but I'm going to go ahead and click on advanced search because that sounds like it might be what I'm looking for to put in other criteria. And that is actually exactly what it looks like. So there's more fields here to help me sort through those results. So I can still see that bears is in my search key here, my keyword. But now I can choose things like language and format, audience. So because I'm looking for a children's nonfiction book about polar bears, I'm going to go to audience because that looks like it might be different kind of age groups. So there's no numbers listed next to it, so I'm not 100% sure which one to click on. I assume that adults is for anyone over 18 or at a higher reading level, so I don't want that. But it's not explaining the difference between adolescent, juvenile, preschool. So in my opinion, this could be definitely defined a little bit more clearly, maybe put some age ranges in parentheses next to the group name to help the patrons figure out which audience they would like to choose. So I'm going to click juvenile because in my mind, juvenile is equivalent to child. Okay, so I'm going to leave everything else the same and see what kind of search results I get. I'm going to click search again. Okay, so now we get 674 results. I guess that's a little bit better than 1900. So looking at these results, I see that they have one thing in common. There's all J's in front of all the call numbers. So some call numbers have letters, some of them have numbers. And for those that are not familiar with the Dewey Decimal System, those numbers provide the location in the nonfiction section where those books are located. So the OPAC seems to assume that the library user who's doing this search is actually familiar with libraries, and it doesn't really take into account those people that are using a library or catalog system for the first time, so they might not know what the numbers mean or the letters mean. So the OPAC will find them their information, but the patron may not necessarily know how to understand or decipher it on their own. So going back to the search results, I'm seeing things for all types of bears. So there's the Bernstein bears, you have grizzly bears. So there's grizzly bears here. Let's click on the next page and see if there's any other types of bears. Okay, so here, Polar Bears by Ruth Owen. So I'm going to click on that to expand it and hopefully get some more information. So a lot of the information here is what we saw on the other page. It's just expanded a little bit more, but if I scroll down, I can see the names of the specific libraries that own a copy of this book. And then I can see if those copies are available or checked out. And if I scroll down, there's more details about the record, like the ISBN, the publisher information, the physical properties of the book. And then down further, provides a summary of the book. I can also see the word bear highlighted in green several times throughout this section. So it's not fully clear, but this could be why the book was listed in the initial results, because it contains the word bear, and that was my keyword that I searched by. So towards the bottom are subject headings, polar bear and polar bear juvenile literature. So they look like they're hyperlinked, so I should be able to click on them. So let's see where this one takes us. All right, so that subject heading appears to have taken us to another search result page that has 33 or 37 results on it with the word polar bear. And it looks like most of our parameters are the same except for a few things like type is now subject and format is now all formats. So from here, I wonder if you could find any DVDs on polar bears by changing the format to DVD. And it looks like there's 9. So there we go.